Okay, well, today I've got an interesting story to tell. We're representing a seller on a property, and there has been we've got a buyer on the property, and the buyer has completed their home inspection, and we are well on our way towards closing of the transaction. And all of a sudden, the seller notices that there is something wrong with the HVAC system, and so they reach out and say, "Hey, what do we do?" And the proper protocol for this is, as the seller, where our responsibility is to maintain the property in its current condition until we close. And so I let my seller know this, and my seller, of course, then said, "Okay, great. So we need to let the buyer know this, and and basically redisclose," which is correct. There's a new defect that's come about, so technically, we would be providing them with a new seller disclosure statement disclosing this new defect and letting the buyer know about the defect, and letting the buyer have essentially the buyer has the right to be able to evaluate the situation and walk away from the transaction if we don't remedy the situation. So what ended up happening in this instance is we had the HVAC folks come out. They assessed the defect with the system, and turns out it's this fairly expensive part to replace to have this system up and running and working properly again. And so then the question becomes, well, who pays for this? Because, this is midstream, and we've already negotiated in this particular transaction, we've already negotiated some credits towards an HVAC system. And so, seller says, well, I've already negotiated a credit towards HVAC. Do I have to fix this and pay for this? And the answer is yes. If you don't, then the buyer has the opportunity to walk away from the transaction with their earnest money. And specifically, the verbiage in the purchase and sale agreement talks about this. There's a paragraph, a portion of a paragraph that speaks to this, and I'm going to show you this by sharing my screen really quick, and I will point this out to you so you can see it. So this is a standard purchase and sale agreement, just a regular residential purchase and sale agreement. And I've got this pulled up here just so we can read through this together. And this, we pick up right here, mid paragraph on paragraph F, talking about closing and possession. And it goes on to read, seller shall maintain the property in its present condition, normal wear and tear accepted, until the buyer is provided possession. Seller shall either repair or replace any system or appliance, including but not limited to plumbing, heat, electrical, and all included items, becomes inoperative or malfunctions prior to closing with a system or appliance of at least equal quality. Buyer reserves the right to walk through the property within 5 days of closing to verify that seller has maintained the property and systems/appliances as required by this paragraph. So that's it in a nutshell. You can see it's very clear in that portion of that paragraph that it is the seller's responsibility to repair or replace when there is a defect that takes place in the property when you're in mid escrow. And in this case, seller, of course, contracted with the HVAC folks, got the part, and the HVAC system is being repaired. And then once the HVAC system is repaired, then the buyer has an opportunity to do another walkthrough if they choose to do so, to verify that the repairs are complete to their satisfaction. All right. So if you have any other questions, real estate related, you want to shoot to me or ask, obviously happy to weigh in. And my cell phone is the best place to reach me. It's 206-949-3793. We'll talk to you soon.